This is longtime gamer Venry Fairden introducing Uncle Troy's Minecraft videos.
Hello there folks, this is Uncle Troy, and I figured before I completely deleted our GiantRavine world, I'd make one last little pass through it down memory lane, so to speak. We've got our island here. Oh good, we've got plenty of sunshine left. And I thought I'd take a moment to go over some of the things I did right and did wrong in this challenge. One of the things I did wrong, I did not start my farm soon enough. I punched some grass and got some seeds, but I didn't plant them just as soon as I possibly could. And I almost starved to death. If I'd not been playing on normal difficulty, if I'd been playing on hard difficulty like I was supposed to, I probably would have starved to death. The challenge would have been over the first day or two. The second thing I did was I put torches all over the island, and that was wrong because the torches prevented mobs from spawning. And had monsters spawned during that first night, I could possibly have killed a skeleton and gotten bone meal, which would have gotten me more wheat, and could have killed spiders, which could have gotten me a bed, which couldn't let me skip today when I was ready to, and more importantly, a spider would have helped me get string, which would have gotten me a fishing line, and I could have fished. Probably something else I did wrong was I started this open... Ow! Okay, need to avoid doing that in the future. Started this open pit mine here, which, as you can see, I was kind of working on getting grass all the way down to the bottom of the ravine, which I never did. But I started this kind of open pit mine, which did lead down here to this spider spawner. Hello, Mr. Spider. And the spider spawner did get me string, but it was some time, after I needed the string initially. I shall now beat this spider to death with a piece of string. Dang it. He got loose. Anyway, this pit mine here wasn't really what I needed it to be. I was kind of looking for lots of resources, and I didn't find lots of resources. I did, however, eventually come out into the cavern here. Excuse me, the giant ravine. So probably that first night I should have stayed outside fighting monsters, because I still had pretty much full hunger bar at that point. So any damage would have been regenerated, and then I would have had string and possibly bones, and I would have been much better off for food. But instead, well, as you know, I kind of hid in the house at night, lit up the island so the monsters didn't spawn. Now, one thing I did do right, I think, was going to all these little ledges and lighting them up to prevent monsters from spawning up here and dropping down on my head. One of the things I did was made all these little ledges and crossways so I could get around easier. I did make my way all the way down to the bottom of the ravine, which, well, as you can see, I probably could have lit it up better, or probably could have went more aggressively toward the bottom and tried to light things up more quickly than I did, but I didn't. Here, I believe, was where my red mushroom was that I lost. That was funny. It just fell right over here into this lava. So when I went for these diamonds right over here, as you can see, I built a wall between me and this lava. After I lit everything up, I didn't spend a whole lot of time down here. Instead, I went off to explore the rest of the world, which was probably one of the other things I did wrong. Because even though I had, technically I won the challenge when I completely lit up this cavern. And I probably should have stopped then instead of said I kept going. But as you can see, I've got all sorts of walkways, all sorts of wonderful, wonderful explored areas. So, if you try a Giant Ravine challenge or something similar, the do's and don'ts, do start a farm early. Do fight monsters your first night, because unless, well, one, if you die, then you've just lost 1 day's work. Two, if you fight monsters while you are still in good health, you probably won't die. And if you fight monsters while your hunger bar is full, well, then you're likely to regain all your health before you actually lose any hunger, or lose health to hunger. Don't dig just for the sake of digging, because that uses up your hunger bar, and until you get a good supply of food, you don't need to be doing that. Do track down all these dungeons, because the stuff in the chest can help you, especially early in the game. Whereas these zombie spawners here aren't very useful. The spider spawners give you string, and the skeleton spawner is particularly useful because it gives you bones for bone meal and arrows for your bow and arrow. But you have to take things slow. Well, take things fast in the beginning. Take risk if you have to get a good food supply. And then take things slow, methodical. Go section by section through all the caves. Light everything up, because any number of times I thought I was safe, and then it turned out no, I was not safe, because I had not lit up something up above me, and a monster would fall down up behind me, and then I would scream and y'all would laugh at me. And also, if you make a challenge, I mean, if you decide to do a challenge like this, decide what your rules are before you start. Ideally, I should have collected resources for a day or two and then gone down into the ravine and not come up, or only come up at night, or only, as I jokingly said, come up on Tuesdays. And instead, I just kind of played it like a regular world, except that I was playing with the Seed Giant Ravine. Now, I did think I did a pretty good job on this skeleton spawner trap here. Let's see if we can get the skeleton to spawn while we're watching him. Yep, we can. Run away, run away. And I love this. See, I've got the skeletons, they go up here and then they drown. Except these skeletons are shooting each other. And as you can see, 4 skeletons spawn at a given time. I'm very proud of this design, because you can just stand up here and watch them drown. You're close enough to the spawner that they're still spawning. And you don't have to go down into a hole to collect your stuff. You can just stand right here. And as you can see, I've collected quite a bit of stuff. This being another zombie spawner. And I lost track of how many zombie spawners I found, but there were quite a few. Before I deleted it, I figured, you know, hey, one more pass through the old caves here, one more you know, scare or two with the zombies or the skeletons or whatever. Hey, a few little more unlit areas here that I just never lit up. I didn't realize there were any of those. So, well, what can I say? This was a very fun challenge. I'm looking forward to my next challenge. I promise to make it a little more challenging next time. And I certainly didn't expect this thing to take over my channel. I expected, you know, just a few episodes and I would be done. And I certainly didn't expect to spend something like 20-something episodes playing this game. Then a couple of best of episodes. And, well, getting several new subscribers. making several new friends who apparently came to my channel because of this series. So I will be trying more survival challenges in the future. I will be... Hello, is that a creeper down there? That's a creeper down there. Yep. Where'd he come from? Don't know, don't care, because we're not playing, we're just saying goodbye. So, let's see here. Back down here and nowhere. Okay. I was going to try to get back up to the surface, but I've apparently got lost. So, please enjoy this interlude while I try to get back to the surface. Please welcome our latest subscribers. These are Chaperones, or something like that, and Xozia, Zalozia, Chaperones, and Zalozia. I see we've gone back to our previous rule that you can only subscribe to Uncle Troy Presents if you have a name that Uncle Troy cannot pronounce. So, welcome to our 2 new subscribers. I believe that brings the total up to 29, and I want to thank each and every one of you. Thank you, and thank you. Now, back to our show. The easiest way to get back to the surface, by the way, turns out to be exploded by 2 creepers, one after the other. Okay, here is my house. Made, first it was a mud hut, and then it was a wooden hut, and then it became a green cobble hut. Green mossy cobble. The mossy cobble was collected from all those dungeons I kept finding. And I got quite a haul here. Let's see. Quite a bit of gold, quite a bit of iron, more iron than I thought I did. An ender pearl, some slime balls. I still have several diamonds left. A good iron sword, which was never used apparently. Some lapis lazuli blocks, which as you can see I've been using as a carpet. And here we have all the various building materials I gathered, including several mossies. And over here is our food chest and other plants. Still have my cooked fish. In fact, I think I only had to fish for like 8 or 10 fish before I got my wheat farm up and going. There's my cocoa beans. And let's see. The sun is rising over there, so let's call that east. And so straight over there is a landmass where I picked up my sugar cane and cactus. And I never really explored that. And up here to the, we're going to call this north, I believe, was the landmass I was exploring when I died. So, in there, and as you can see, well, you can't see it here with the render distance set where it is, but off in that direction, right over there, there is a couple small islands. But really, I mean, you have to go back to the first episode to see that we started here with like 2 trees. I think one here, or something like that. Oh, also I went back and got birch trees because I like them better than the other styles of trees. The original trees were the plain old trees like that one way over there. But anyway, you start off with like 2 trees, a few tufts of grass, no animals because you're in the middle of a ocean biome, and animals don't like to spawn in the middle of an ocean biome. And you know, the challenge is to survive, and I survived for 22 episodes, I think it was, before dying to stupidity. I fell off a ledge and landed on a creeper. So anyway, like I said, I just wanted to check this out one more time before I called it quits. And I probably won't delete this game right off. I may come back and visit it again, but for now, this is the end of the GiantRavine challenge. As I said, I consider myself both have won because I did light up the entire ravine, and lost because I eventually did die. But the challenge is complete, and I want to thank you all for joining me. for this challenge, and I hope you enjoy future episodes. This is Uncle Troy signing off. Please have a good night.